Last year, a patient of mine, a 62-year-old man named Robert, went to bed just like every other night. He kissed his wife goodnight, rolled over on his stomach, and fell asleep. But when morning came, Robert didn't wake up the same. Half his face had gone numb. His speech was slurred. He couldn't even lift his coffee mug. He hadn't had a heart attack. He hadn't fallen or hit his head. He'd simply slept the wrong way. I'm Dr. Michael Gray, a neurologist who spent over 2 decades studying how sleep affects the brain. And what I'm about to tell you might sound unbelievable, but it's 100% real. There's one common sleeping position that can quietly reduce blood flow to your brain while you sleep. And over time, it can raise your stroke risk overnight. Not next year, not someday. I'm talking about tonight. Most people over 50 do this without realizing it, thinking it's comfortable. But inside, your arteries are being pinched, oxygen drops, and your brain struggles to stay alive while you dream. So before you go to bed again, please watch this entire video, because I'll show you exactly which position is dangerous, why it happens, and the simple way to fix it so you can protect your brain and sleep safely for years to come. If you're over 50 and you sometimes wake up dizzy, tired, or foggy, don't ignore it. The way you sleep might be telling your brain, I'm cutting off your lifeline. Let's fix that, starting right now.
Let me tell you about someone I'll never forget. Mary Thompson. Mary was 67, a retired high school English teacher from Ohio. Sharp, funny, and the kind of woman who never missed her morning walk. She didn't drink, she didn't smoke, and her doctor said she had the heart of a 40-year-old. One night last spring, Mary went to bed just like she always did. She fluffed her pillows, turned off the bedside lamp, and rolled onto her right side, tucking her chin down, a position she'd slept in for over 20 years. At 2:45 a.m., her husband, Richard, heard something strange, a faint mumble, then silence. When he turned on the light, Mary was half awake, trying to move her right arm, but couldn't. Her lips barely formed words. She whispered, "Something's wrong." By the time the paramedics arrived, her blood pressure had spiked. The CT scan later confirmed it, a mild ischemic stroke, a blockage in one of the arteries feeding the left side of her brain. Here's what stunned me most. Mary's tests showed almost no traditional risk factors, no major plaque buildup, no atrial fibrillation, nothing we usually see in stroke patients her age. But when I reviewed her sleep habits, the answer became painfully clear. Every night, for decades, she slept with her head turned sharply to the right, chin tucked toward her chest, and shoulder compressed beneath her neck. That position, night after night, had slowly restricted blood flow through her right carotid artery. Like a garden hose bent just enough to cut water pressure. Over time, the artery wall thickened, blood flow weakened, and one night it was just enough to trigger a clot. The good news is Mary recovered. After weeks of therapy, she regained full speech and movement. But she told me something that stuck with me. She said, "Doctor, I never imagined something as simple as how I sleep could almost take my life." And that's the moment it hit me. Millions of older adults might be doing the very same thing every single night, without the slightest clue that their sleeping position could quietly threaten their brain. That's why I decided to make this video, because if Mary's story can save even one more person from waking up to a stroke, then sharing it is worth every second. So what's actually happening inside the brain when we sleep in the wrong position? Let's look closer, because once you understand the why, you'll never look at your pillow the same way again.
So what's really happening when we sleep the wrong way? Why would something as innocent as resting your head in the wrong position put your brain at risk? Let's take a look inside. Your brain, right now, even as you sit here watching, uses about 20% of all the blood flowing through your body. That's more than your muscles, your skin, even your heart. To deliver that blood, your body relies on 4 main highways: 2 carotid arteries in the front of your neck, and 2 vertebral arteries running up through the spine in the back. When you lie flat, with your head twisted, bent forward, or tilted sharply to one side, you're actually pressing on those arteries, just like bending a garden hose. At first, the blood still flows, a little slower, but enough to keep you fine. But if you stay in that position for hours, especially night after night, the pressure can partially collapse the artery walls or slow down circulation to the brain's deeper regions. Now here's where it gets even more interesting. When you're young, your arteries are flexible. They bounce back easily, like a fresh rubber tube. But once you pass 50, the walls stiffen. Plaque builds up, tiny cholesterol deposits that narrow the space inside. That means even a small tilt of the head can have a big effect on blood flow. A study published in the American Journal of Neurology found that in adults over 60, neck misalignment during sleep can reduce brain blood flow by up to 20%. Imagine your brain getting 20% less oxygen for 8 hours every single night. Over time, that can lead to morning dizziness or confusion, memory lapses, tingling or numbness upon waking, and in severe cases, a mini stroke or what we call a transient ischemic attack. The brain is incredibly resilient, but it's also demanding. It needs a constant, even flow of oxygen. When that flow is disrupted, even slightly, certain brain cells start to panic. They slow down their communication, electrical signals become uneven, and that's when you wake up feeling foggy, off balance, or heavy-headed. Those aren't just signs of aging. They're your brain's way of whispering, "Hey, I didn't get enough blood last night." And there's another hidden layer, the glymphatic system. That's your brain's natural cleaning process, flushing out toxins like beta amyloid, the same protein linked to Alzheimer's disease. This cleaning only happens when you're deeply asleep, and it depends on smooth fluid circulation around the brain. But if your head and neck are compressed, that drainage system slows down, leaving waste behind like stagnant water in a pipe. So when we sleep in the wrong position, we're not just risking circulation, we're blocking the very system that keeps our brain young and sharp. I know this sounds a bit unsettling, but here's the hopeful part. Once you understand what's really happening, you can fix it. You can restore healthy blood flow, improve brain detox overnight, and dramatically reduce your risk of stroke, just by changing how you position your head and neck. And that's exactly what I'm going to show you next.
This is the position that shocks most of my patients. Face down, chest pressed against the mattress, neck twisted sharply to one side, arms tucked under the pillow. The stomach sleeping position. For decades, people believed it was harmless, even comfortable. Some think it helps with snoring or acid reflux, but in reality, it's one of the most dangerous positions for your brain. Here's why. When you sleep like this, your neck rotates up to 70 or even 80 degrees. That extreme rotation stretches and compresses both carotid and vertebral arteries, the main highways feeding your brain. Now imagine holding that twist for 6, 7, even 8 hours straight. The blood vessels can't keep a steady flow. Pressure builds unevenly. And if there's any plaque, even a small one, that twist can cause it to rupture or loosen. Those tiny clots can travel upward and block microvessels, causing what neurologists call a silent stroke. You might not even know it happened. No dramatic collapse, no sudden paralysis, just a foggy morning, a weak hand grip, or a word that suddenly feels hard to remember. I've seen dozens of patients,
healthy, active people in their 50s, 60s, 70s who came in saying, "Doc, I woke up with a stiff neck and a dizzy head. I thought it was just age." But their scans told a different story. Tiny, pinpoint strokes, the kind that accumulate quietly over time. And guess what most of them had in common? They were stomach sleepers. When your face presses into the pillow, you're not just blocking your breathing, you're also increasing intracranial pressure. That's the pressure inside your skull. It forces blood to fight harder to reach the brain. For older adults, especially with high blood pressure or stiff arteries, that strain can be devastating over time. Now, I'm not saying this to scare you. My goal is to help you understand what's really happening so you can protect your brain tonight. Because the good news is, you don't have to stay trapped in this dangerous pattern. There are safe, supported positions that actually boost blood flow to your brain and even improve your sleep quality. And in just a moment, I'll show you exactly how to do it, step by step.
So now that you know what not to do, let's talk about how to sleep smart. Because the way you position your head and neck tonight can literally decide how well your brain performs tomorrow. First, the side sleeping position. This one, when done correctly, is your brain's best friend. When you lie on your side, especially your left side, your heart and blood vessels work in harmony. Gravity helps blood and lymphatic fluid drain smoothly from the brain. That means less swelling, less pressure, and better overnight detox. A study from the Journal of Neuroscience actually found that people who sleep on their side have more efficient glymphatic clearance. That's the brain's cleaning process we talked about earlier. In plain English, it means your brain washes itself better when you sleep on your side, flushing out waste proteins linked to memory loss and early dementia. But here's the key. It's not just about which side, it's how you support your body. Your pillow should keep your head aligned with your spine, not tilted down or up. If your shoulder sinks too deep, add a small pillow under your chest or arm to balance the pressure. And always keep a small, firm pillow between your knees. It prevents your hips from twisting and keeps your lower back relaxed all night. Now, what about sleeping on your back? This can also be safe if done correctly. If you prefer this position, make sure your head is not too high. A thick pillow pushes your chin toward your chest, narrowing those arteries we talked about earlier. Instead, use a low cervical support pillow, one that slightly cradles your neck's natural curve. That gentle lift keeps the airway open, reduces snoring, and helps blood flow freely to the brain. And one more thing, place a small pillow or rolled towel under your knees. That eases tension on your spine and lower back, making it easier for your heart to circulate blood evenly. So if you're wondering, what's the best position for me? Here's the short answer. If you're over 50 and want to protect your brain, sleep on your side. If you must sleep on your back, use a pillow that supports your neck's natural shape. And if you're a stomach sleeper, it's time to make a gentle change. Don't worry, you don't have to force it overnight. Start by spending just 15 minutes on your side each night. Gradually, your muscle and brain will adapt, and before you know it, you'll wake up clearer, sharper, and calmer. Because sleep isn't just about rest, it's about recovery. And when you sleep in alignment, your brain finally gets the oxygen, nutrients, and cleansing it's been craving for years.
You know that feeling when you wake up and your head feels heavy, your thoughts are slow, and it takes a full cup of coffee just to feel alive again? That's what we call morning brain fog. And it's not just about poor sleep or age. It's your brain's way of saying, I didn't get enough circulation last night. When blood flow slows down during sleep, especially if your head and neck are compressed, your brain cells don't get the oxygen they need. They wake up sluggish, like a phone that didn't charge fully overnight. And because your glymphatic system couldn't drain toxins efficiently, you start the morning with a buildup of waste products, the very same ones linked to fatigue, confusion, and early cognitive decline. But the good news is, you can clear that fog. You can recharge your brain every morning with a few simple, science-backed habits. Tip number 1. Gentle neck stretch and blood flow reset. The moment you wake up, before grabbing your phone, sit up slowly, place your hands behind your head, and take 3 deep breaths. Then gently tilt your head side to side, roll your shoulders back, and stretch your spine like you're making space for air to move. This simple movement helps reopen the arteries that may have been slightly compressed during the night. You'll feel a rush of clarity almost instantly. Tip number 2. The brain flush morning hydration. After a night's sleep, your brain loses about a cup of water through breathing alone. Dehydration thickens the blood, making circulation slower and oxygen delivery harder. So the first thing you should do each morning is drink a full glass of warm water with a pinch of sea salt or lemon. That tiny mineral boost helps your cells rehydrate faster. It's like jump-starting your brain's electrical system. Tip number 3. Sunlight plus deep breathing, 2 minutes only. Step near a window or outside if possible. Take a few slow, deep breaths in the sunlight. Morning light triggers serotonin, your mood and focus hormone, and oxygen intake feeds your neurons. You'll notice your mind waking up from the inside out. Tip number 4. The brain breakfast rule. Skip the heavy sugar and carbs. Instead, go for foods rich in omega-3s, antioxidants, and magnesium, like walnuts, blueberries, and oats. These nutrients support neuron communication and reduce inflammation, the silent enemy of memory and focus. Remember, brain fog is not a disease. It's a message, and your body is whispering, not shouting. It's saying, give me circulation, give me oxygen, give me rest in alignment. When you listen to that message, when you stretch, hydrate, breathe, and fuel your brain, you're not just preventing stroke or memory loss, you're reclaiming your clarity, your energy, and your mornings. Because the truth is, your brain doesn't age the way you think. It adapts, it heals, it grows stronger when you give it the right conditions. And it all begins with one conscious morning, starting tomorrow.
All right, now that you know how your sleep position affects your brain, let me show you something simple. Something I teach every one of my patients. A 3-minute nightly routine to align your body, open your circulation, and prepare your brain for deep, restorative sleep. Step 1. The neck reset, 45 seconds. Lie on your back for a moment. Take a deep breath in through your nose and exhale slowly through your mouth. Now gently tuck your chin in as if you're making a double chin, then release. Repeat 3 times. That tiny motion realigns the curve of your neck and relieves pressure on the arteries running to your brain. You'll feel your head settle more naturally into the pillow. Step 2. Shoulder and spine release, 45 seconds. Now roll your shoulders back and down, letting your shoulder blades slide closer together. Imagine you're opening your chest, creating space for oxygen. Next, take your right arm and stretch it gently across your chest. Hold for 5 seconds, then switch. This releases muscle tension that can restrict blood flow to the upper spine and neck during sleep. Step 3. Side alignment, 1 minute, 30 seconds. Now roll onto your left side, the most circulation-friendly position for your brain and heart. Place your bottom arm forward, not under your head, and let your top knee rest on a small pillow. This keeps your hips and spine aligned. Your head should feel supported, not bent.
Adjust the pillow until your nose, neck, and spine form a straight line. Take a deep breath. You'll notice how much easier it feels for air and calm to flow. This is what I call the alignment moment. When your head, heart, and spine are in harmony, your nervous system finally relaxes. That's when real healing sleep begins. Step 4, the brain calm breath. Final 30 seconds. Close your eyes. Place one hand over your chest, one over your stomach. Breathe in for 4 seconds. Hold for 2. Exhale for 6. Each breath slows your heart rate and signals your brain it's safe to rest. Do this for 3 rounds and you'll feel your body melt into the mattress. That's it. 3 minutes and your brain is ready for the best sleep of your life. Not a pill, not a gadget, just alignment, breathing, and awareness. Try this tonight, and when you wake up tomorrow, notice how your head feels lighter, your focus sharper, and your mood calmer. Because healing doesn't always come from medicine. Sometimes it starts with how you lie down to rest. Before you turn off the light tonight, I want you to remember one thing. How you sleep is how your brain heals. Every night, your brain drains toxins, restores memory, and resets your energy for a new day. But that only happens when your body is in true alignment. You've just learned something most people never hear from their doctor, how a simple sleeping position can protect your brain, reduce your stroke risk, and even bring back that clear, focused energy you thought was gone. Now it's your turn to try. Start tonight. Just 3 minutes before bed, breathe, align, and rest. If this helped you, share it with someone you care about, a spouse, a parent, a friend over 50 who deserves a healthier tomorrow. And if you want more real science-backed ways to protect your brain and body naturally, hit that subscribe button and join our growing community of smart sleepers and healthy minds. You only get one brain. Take care of it tonight so it can take care of you tomorrow. Sleep well, my friends.